talk a couple of moments about Chief Officer Kruzel, then I'll call attention to orders. Technical Flynn will read the promotion warrant. I'll administer the oath, and then Jason's daughters are going to pin his new rank on him. So Jason Kruzel and I go back a long ways, and I would submit that he is a perfect example of why guys like me have any level of success in the organization. Because as a young captain, he was a gunnery sergeant. We're in Cop Squadron together. Came to me as my company maintenance chief as we kind of hobbled this thing together to go to Iraq. Then he ended up at Al-Qaim. And I won't get into all the specifics, but at the end of the day, if you've been around this man, you know he's always a first of a first kind of a guy. And if there's a wicked problem, you want this guy running the slide rule, trying to come up with the solution. Then fast forward, I'm 8 Com Battalion. Didn't rate him, but the Yacht Field allowed me to keep him for 2 years. And I can tell you there's absolutely no better maintenance officer in the Marine Corps than this guy right here. And the best part about getting this guy, if you know how to employ him, you know how to employ his wife, Miss Kelly. Because I will also tell you that as a young captain with a pretty new bride, a new kid, one on the way, Miss Kelly Kruzel really showed my wife Jill the ropes relative to taking care of Marines and their families, how to run kind of a company, key volunteer to then readiness program. And then I got to really triple down on her at 8 Com Battalion because we had so many Marines. I think Jason's platoon was definitely the largest platoon in the battalion and bigger than some of our companies, quite frankly. And so I have been blessed with the Kruzel family since 2003, I think, or so. And I still call him today. He doesn't work for me. But when I've got a hard problem or I need to figure something out, really, I call him. I'm like, hey, brother, can you get in GCS Marine Corps? And my people are telling me this, I feel that. Anyway, he's kind of a good man to have on the inside. And I love you. It's all about people. And this is a Marine to be emulated. From a technical and tactical proficiency perspective, from a dedication to the institution like none of you really understand, to being a good husband, an outstanding father. He's the guy that never refuses to answer the call regardless of what it is. I'm blessed for having worked with you and your wife. I'm really humbled. I'm excited you asked me to come out here and do this. Gave me a chance to get back to some humidity from 29 Palms, so I don't mind that either. But I appreciate you and everything you've done for the institution. And I've only known 2 unicorns in my entire career, and I get to make one today, or at least have part of that. And so it's a big day for me. I may be more excited than he is. I don't know. But my hope is, and I've already started working with Lieutenant Colonel Flynn. I'll keep working the institution. I'd love to have him on my team again, and we'll see if the stars align one day. Maybe that'll work out. Okay. Come on over here. Attention orders.
From the President of the United States, to all who shall see these presents greeting, know you that, reposing special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Jason L. Kruzel, I do appoint this officer a Chief 1 Officer 5 in the United States Marine Corps, to rank as such from the first day of September 2019. This officer will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the office to which appointed by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto belonging, and I do strictly charge and require those officers and other personnel of lesser rank to render such obedience as due an officer of this grade and position. And this officer is to observe and follow orders and directions from time to time as may be given by the President of the United States of America or other superior officers acting in accordance with the laws of the United States of America. This commission is to continue in force during the pleasure of the President of the United States of America under the provisions of those public laws relating to officers of the armed forces of the United States of America and the component thereof in which this appointment is made. done at the City of Washington, the 16th day of July in the year of our Lord, 2019, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 244th. By the President, signed, David H. Berger, Commandant of the Marine Corps, and Richard V. Spencer, Secretary of the Navy.
I take the full name. I, Jason Kruzel, solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, as I am at the reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will always faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
Girls, come on up here and pin your daddy. Rich, y'all go and stand to these.
Here, Jill, take a picture of it.
Kids can't haze their parents, so she can do it. Come up here, Miss Killen, just take a picture of me, hand this to him real quick, and then it'll be your turn.
Wow. Sir. As always, your words are way too kind. Yeah, it is true. We do go way back, and we've done quite a bit. For those of you that don't know, Commanding Officer, Marine Corps Communication Electronics School, out from 29 Palms, California. So if anybody wants to get into some fights, we can do that before you get back, sir. You know, sometimes you just get a loss of word. You know, if you'd asked me 25 whatever years ago, would I be standing here today? Obviously the answer is hell no, to be quite honest. But it is. So thank you all for coming. Tremendously, thank you. It means a lot. I could start rattling down a list of everybody I need to thank. All the Marines, sailors, soldiers. I was a route clearance officer. I did have a couple of route clearance teams from the Army. But to be quite frank, that list would be way too long, and I would have had to establish some chairs and probably some additional food. So just know that everybody I am thanking on a personal level, and I'm running down the list. You know, ever since my name ended up on that list back in December, as the you know, on the Chief Officer 5 list, people have been contacting me, asking me, you know, what's the secret? What do I do? What do I do to get there? Did you do your PME? Yeah. Do you have combat deployments? Yeah. Personal awards? Yeah. Do you have good fitness reports? Yeah. Yeah, I could go down the list. But there's one thing that I did do that I definitively know nobody else did, and I can guarantee you that it is the single reason that why I'm standing here. And it was about 21 years ago, coming up on 21 years ago, and I talked Kelly Marine Griffin into being my bride. So there I was a brand new instructor at McSess. I was teaching Track 170 stuff, and I would come home at the end of every day and I had to rehearse for my next day presentations. And I taught that girl right there how to actually operate and maintain a Track 170. So if anybody wants to test the sustainment interval thing, we can actually get her in one right now because surprisingly they're still in service. we could get her in one and we could see if she could still run the energization. I venture to say maybe not. But anyway, while we were there, it was, this was back in '99. Family readiness, it was kind of still used as kind of a buzzword kind of thing throughout the Marine Corps. And I brought her from College Station, Texas. I brought her to 29 Palms, and she immediately said, all right, what's going on with this desert thing? And who looks out for all the wives and the dependents? And I said, well, we kind of do. And she told me I did a very poor job at it. She did. So she started making meals. I had night classes. She would make meals, she'd make cookies and everything, and she'd bring them up to night class. She started making contacts, and I thought that we had kind of this capture as to what it took to actually be successful. I entered Comm Squadron 28 to where we actually engaged with probably two of the biggest mentors of my life. It's Colonel Kenyon Gill and Miss Pam Gill. And they definitively showed exactly what it took to actually achieve operational readiness through the employment of family readiness. They defined it, absolutely defined it. And we have taken that every single place that we have gone. They were going to be here today. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite make it happen. But they positively set us off on the right track. And then we went to Tank Battalion. She was there. While we were at Comm Squadron 28, she actually hung around so much through my platoon that Squadron Commander, Colonel Gill, asked her to become a key volunteer advisor. So she was actually on the CO's personal staff, and she was advising. Went to Tank Battalion, she did the same thing. With my platoons, went to Intel Battalion, went to an RCT-6, Comm Battalion, we did it there. I can definitively tell you, I would not be standing here today if it wasn't for you. And there's not a question in my mind. While she was doing all that, she got her degree from agricultural economics. If anybody needs one of them, she's qualified. Agricultural economics. She got a master's degree in education. Talk to those people and get a job, maybe. And while she was doing that, she also raised 4 absolutely beautiful children. I got one son up in Wisconsin, kicking ass, taking names, making a name for himself. I got one just started his freshman year down at Texas A&M, and I got those 2 absolutely wonderful girls. And that's all you. That is all you. I could go on, but she's telling me to shut up. So. I thank each and every one of you for being here today. I love you. You're the reason. It's the only thing that sets me apart from everybody else, that you. I thank you. All right, admin note, right across the street over there is a canopy. There is some freshly smoked brisket and food and cupcakes and everything over there. So I think Colonel Ward said nobody's authorized to go back in the building until you eat something.
It's all got to be gone.
Is that right, sir?
It's all got to be gone.
Yes, sir. So, again, thank you. Appreciate it.
I got a smile, I'll shake his hand at least, and then you'll get some of his chow.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for doing that.
Sure. Can I talk to you in on the next time?
I think at this point it's not me.
So kind of talking and figuring out what's the better option. Depends on the issue. There's another
Yeah.
It depends on who gets it. Well, there's one in Okie right now. I don't know if you know Buster Brown. Yeah, so Buster, he's been 6 years. So him and Tanya are moving back. They have to move out of Okie, so they're taking over 2 leagues of Okie and I can ask them because we're going out there in about 2 weeks. I'll ask him. We'll have dinner with them. One minute.
No, you can't.
Because they had a house out there. So I don't know really if they have any other ties in California anymore.